All right, so Unit 5, Day 4, Properties of Logs. The good news is you guys know some of this already, so we'll go through some of this pretty quick until we get to the stuff we really need to talk about. The argument of a log must always be positive. Right, a log graph looks something like that. Hello. It's working now. Magic. I don't know. Like I logged out of everything and turned it back on and poof. Thank you though. That's okay. Okay. Shh. So you can't take the log of any negative numbers. There's no negatives over there that you can plug in. That doesn't work. So domain is from 0 to infinity. The argument's got to be positive. The base of a log must be positive, but can't be 1. We'll just skip over that. We'll just say it for now. 3 and 4, you should have used those ideas on the test you just took. Log base 3 of 3 is 1. Log base 4 of 4 is 1. Log base 5 of 5 is 1. Natural log of e is 1. Because of the fishhook thing. E to the 1 is e. 5 to the 1 is 5, and so on. If the log's argument is 1, the value of the function is 0. Because 3 to the 0 is 1, and 4 to the 0 is 1, and 5 to the 0 is 1. So, log of 1 is always 0. Alright, now for the new stuff. If the argument has an exponent, we can move the exponent from the argument and make it the coefficient. So, from argument to coefficient. So that means natural log of x cubed, we can take that 3 and move it down front. So 3 natural log of x. And that's much easier to deal with. A 3 out front is much easier to deal with than an x cubed. So we will use some of this stuff when we get to solving equations. All right, what power of x is the same thing as the square root? 1/2. So that's x to the 1/2, which means we can move the 1/2 down front. And even though we're not really doing much with these yet, you can imagine that it's much easier to deal with a 1/2 out front than a square root in the log. Natural log of 9, that doesn't look like it has any exponent. So is there a way I could rewrite 9 as something with an exponent? So what's the same thing as 9 but written differently? 3 squared. Right, 3 squared is the same thing as 9. And then I could take that 2 and move it down front. Now, that we probably wouldn't do as often because there's really nothing wrong with natural log of 9. The others are probably more important because they simplify the equation or the expression. How could I rewrite 27 with a power? 3 cubed. And so then that exponent 3 can come down front. 3 natural log 3. Number 6, if the argument is the product of 2 terms, we can split the log into the sum of 2 logs. That's kind of wordy, but here's what it means. If you have the log of m times n, you can split it up with addition. So natural log of 4x, I could split that up into natural log of 4 plus natural log of x. That would be what we call expanding. Or we could condense, kind of go the other way, and take 2 logs and condense them into 1. What's the natural log of 3 plus the natural log of 5 going to be? Natural log of not 8. Remember, if we're adding logs, it becomes multiplication. So 3 times 5 is 15. Number 7, if multiplication leads to addition, I think it makes sense that division leads to subtraction. Or subtraction leads to division. They kind of go together. So natural log of 3 halves would be the natural log of 3 minus the natural log of 2. That would be expanding it. Condensing it would be to put these back as 1. What would the argument of this one be? Natural log of 12 over 8. And then you could reduce 12 over 8 to 3/2. All right, example 1. Natural log of 4 minus natural log of 16. So what does minus lead to? Division. So natural log of 4 over 16. Well, I don't see that as an option. But I could reduce 4/16 to, what's 4/16 reduced to? 1/4. I don't see that as an option. How could I write 1/4 as something with a power? You skipped a step on me, but that's correct. I'm going to write it as 4 to the negative 1, but that's not an option either. But I could take that negative out front and rewrite 4 as 2 squared. Now I can take the 2 out front, negative 2 natural log 2. That's answer choice D. So that had a lot of things going on in it. Why don't you try number 2? So first go would get you natural log of 12 over 24. That would reduce to natural log 1/2. Still not one of my answer choices. Let's see. How could I rewrite 1/2 as something with an exponent? 2 to the negative 1, because the negative 1 would have flipped it over. And then I can take that negative and move it out front. So it's A. Number 3. Number 3 is going the other way. I want you to expand that all out. Again, anything in the top is going to be positive. Anything in the bottom is going to be negative. So you can expand this all at once. Like, there's a way to do it with like 14 steps in there, but anything in the top, anything multiplied is going to be positive. Anything in the bottom is going to be negative. So minus natural log 3 minus natural log x squared plus 2. So whichever one that is. 4 plus x, that's all of them, minus natural log 3, that's all of them, minus natural log x squared plus 2. Okay, it's not C because you can't distribute a log. That doesn't, I don't even want to draw it because you can't do that. Four is just about the same as 3. So again, once you get the hang of these, anything in the top is positive, anything in the bottom is going to be negative. So natural log 18 plus natural log x plus 1 minus natural log 12 minus natural log x to the 5th. And there's one more thing that somebody might do on that one. You see anything else you could do with that one? You could put the 5 in front. So on a multiple choice test, you probably do that first, start looking for your answers, and my bet is the answer has a 5 out front instead of as the exponent. You know what? I could have reduced 18 and 12 as well. That might have made life simpler. In fact, let's do that on the next one. Let's reduce the 3 and the 15. And I'm going to rewrite x plus 1 to the 1/3. 5e x to the 4th. So kind of clean it up as best I can first, and then we'll start splitting everybody up. And if you're really good, you could jump all the way to the end. Like, where's that 1/3 going to end up as? Or what's it going to end up as? So the top's positive, and that 1/3 is going to end up as a coefficient. And then all this stuff in the bottom is going to be minus, so minus natural log 5, minus natural log e, minus natural log of x to the 4th, but I could put the 4 out front. And there's probably only one more thing someone might do. What's the natural log of e equal to? 1. So they might replace that with 1. All right, number 6 is just plugging stuff in. Number 7 is just a challenge for you to try. But all of that's good enough for you to get the next worksheet.